Welcome everybody. It is a beautiful day outside. It's a beautiful day outside, yeah. It's been glorious actually. It's just now starting, the sun is just about to go in. It's been a beautiful day, and I'd like to share with you something beautiful too, as the beautiful sea is blue today and the sky is blue. I thought what a perfect opportunity to show you a beautiful blue Brazilian clear quartz crystal which has been auraed. So yeah, welcome to the world of aura. Aqua aura, beautiful. Wearing some right now, beautiful. Let's have a look then. Couple of clusters, gorgeous clusters, really powerful. And yeah, just some lovely double pointers, gorgeous. Not a big collection, but very pretty. Very pretty. Beautiful. As you can see, apart from the two, which are claw settings, the rest are cap fittings, which are perfect. Really lovely. Well, as I sit here and recall some of my clients that found the healing power of this crystal, I can recall one particular story that I'd like to share with you. Some people like my stories, and this story was kind of like a freaky one, a little bit freaky, a little bit scary, but not too scary. It was a nice outcome. So I've seen maybe 20 to 30 people with this very similar occurrence that happens to many people at different ages and at different stages of their path. And this particular lovely lady had many encounters on her spiritual journey where she met certain gurus, whether they were yoga experts and so on. And the first time I met her, she came to me with a very pleasant, quiet mannerisms, very peaceful, almost surreal. You know, it was like, wow, this lady is really calm. But what kind of was hiding underneath was something very traumatizing for this lady. And again, a lot of my stories are very similar, because there's only so much happens in that kind of field of work that there is a lot of coincidences and synchronicities in that, and patterns. So I remember giving this lovely soul a reading and a healing, and there was something that was happening to this lovely lady which she didn't understand, and it seemed to be getting worse, as she told me after the healing session, for some 6 months. She'd been to a spiritual retreat, and at that retreat something happened, and the guide or the shaman or the spiritual teacher told him that what she was going through was very normal and it would pass. And what that was she was hearing voices, and those voices were getting louder, and she was getting more worried. And then when she had the courage to tell, I think her father had passed and she just got a mother. Her mother was concerned as well, and they went to a medical practitioner in the medical industry, and they started her on some tablets. This is very common theme, to suppress the voices. But the problem with that is it doesn't actually get to the root cause of why. Some people go through a kind of an awakening, whether it be meditation, and sometimes they call Kundalini the awakening. But I actually just say we are opening up to certain things that if we're not ready for, sometimes if we're in groups of people where they're in a different stage of their awakening, if the person leading them isn't really in control, then it can be that things happen. And I'm not just saying that to scare anybody, because I never talk about this anyway, because the outcomes that I ever worked with was always a happy ending, in the sense that whatever had happened disappears. So this girl had gone through the procedure of medical industry that can only prescribe dumbing down of the mind. So she was a zombie for quite a few months, and the mother realised that this wasn't helping, and they slowly came off the medication. This is before I met her, and I found out all of this after. And we started doing some healing work, and we started to try and understand what was going on. A lot of the times you can have voices which are of very, very demonic and very manipulating, and then sometimes you can literally be connected to your home world, so you're actually speaking to a member of family or somebody in our spirit world. Now, in either case, I think personally it's not really what we're meant to do. It's not really something that should be, especially if you're not ready for any of those things. So this wasn't demonic at all. This wasn't attachments. It wasn't entity. It wasn't anything trapped spirit. Nothing like that. It was basically, it was just something that my client wasn't ready for. So obviously, if you're not ready for it, then it's not really something you want. Some get over it and live with it, and then it disappears, and some just simply don't really want that. That's not what they want. They don't want to hear voices. So I asked, were the voices causing you pain and suffering? Were they manipulating? Were they telling you to do anything? Were they telling you this is right or wrong? And it was fuzzy, because I never really truly got a correct answer. It was like a dream, but I don't remember the dream. So she was hearing things, but they didn't stick. They were just coming and going. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. So you don't know what's going on. So it's like, it felt to her like she was being given information that just disappeared, and she was frustrated, right? Have you ever had a dream that you really want to remember and you just can't remember, and then you just let it go? Imagine that happened to you every day. So I remember the day she came for a reading and healing. I guess not much was said in the reading other than she was a beautiful soul, very open, very kind and caring, very loving, very angelic. And the healing session was really where I wanted to go with all of this. At the time, I was probably working with 12, this was very beginning of my healing path, 12 crystals. And if you all remember back then, one of my favorites were this beautiful crystal. And I remember midway through the healing session, and bear in mind, I knew nothing about what this lady was going through at all. I just gave her a reading and then started doing her healing session. And midway through, I'd say 20 minutes, perhaps, I had a beautiful piece of this. And I remember taking it off my neck, and I remember laying it right here. And I remember continuing the healing session with my hand about 2 or 3 inches above the crystal. And what I saw was kind of phenomenal. As I'm looking down, and one hand, my right hand is on top of there, giving energy. The other hand is held out. I opened my eyes for a glimpse moment, and I saw her eyes going crazy. Now her eyes were closed, but sometimes if you're looking, you can see that the eyes are moving. And what I saw was a movement of eyes that I've never seen like that before. I've seen many movements of eyes, but this was uncontrollable. It was like all over, and like, okay, well, something's happening, don't know what, but it feels good, keep at it. And as I put my hand there, a lot of healers will know, sometimes you'll feel a burst of heat, or sometimes you'll feel freezing cold. Well, this was a burst of heat. It was so hot that it was hurting my hand, in the sense that I wanted to pull my hand away because it was hurting that much. But as most healers know, you practitioners, you don't. You leave your hand there till that pain is gone. Something was happening with this beautiful Aqua aura. The frequency was penetrating so well that something was being burnt or melted or healed or cleansed. I don't think I left her head for the duration of the healing session, and I kept looking at her eyes and her movements, which is very normal. Sometimes your leg will move, or your fist will move, your hand will move, and that's just a clarification that the healing is going through the body, and it's basically clearing all the points where it may be the points broken, so they heal back again. So after the hour and 20 minutes were finished, she opens her eyes, and I always remember her smile. Beautiful teeth, beautiful smile, and a sense of relief and a deep sense of peace. I remember taking this off her forehead and deciding to leave it around her neck as a gift. I look back to this day and know the conversation that we have whenever we meet, which is very rare now because she's left this country. But when we do meet, the conversation was always the same, that day was the day that the voices disappeared and she was able to live in peace. So Aqua aura plays a really big role in my life. It's a beautiful crystal that brings in so much peace, so much healing, so much cleansing, so much clearing. And I kind of always think to myself that anything that we don't particularly want in our life, wearing Aqua aura clears that away, whether it be mental, emotional, or spiritual. It gives us the freedom and the strength to move forward and to heal all that needs to be healed. It is one of my favourite crystals. I've loved it to this day, and I think it does magic. I think it really does a lot of magic. So I just wanted to share that little story with you, and it was a very, very happy ending, and I was very, very, very happy for her, and I put it down to the beautiful energy of Aqua aura, clear quartz from Brazil, that made that very special moment that no mainstream medicine could fix. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. So there you go, my beautiful collection. Not many, but I shall now finish them by putting them onto Bajerski.com, and I hope you appreciate yours if you end up buying one. And if you can't afford one, then hopefully one day one will come to you, or go down to your local crystal store and support them as well. Have a most beautiful, happy, healing day from my heart to yours.